Welcome back to Classic Mosaic Truth. Today, we are stepping right into the heart of the machine, the engine room of how we actually experience reality.
It's great to be here. And engine room is the perfect way to put it. We're looking at the gears behind the curtain today.
I am really excited for this one. This is our fifth installment, and we are tackling a concept that, let's be honest, it sounds a bit like science fiction at first.
Right. Or something you debate in a philosophy class late at night. It feels very big.
Totally. We're talking about the mental universe. But here's the thing. We are not going to let this float off into some mystical cloud. We're taking this ancient, massive idea, and we're going to make it practical.
Yeah, we're landing it. We're talking about how this idea shows up in, a traffic jam or when you get a weird email from your boss.
Exactly. It's about moving from these big, grand principles into the actual mechanics of how your mind works moment to moment. We're kind of stripping away the woo to look at the wiring.
The operating system itself.
Right. So if this episode helps you, please hit like and subscribe for the next one. We're really building a toolkit here, and you don't want to miss a piece.
So should we jump into the source?
Let's do it. We're anchoring this whole conversation in the Kybalion, and specifically that huge mind-bending principle. The all is mind, the universe is mental.
It's a statement that stops you in your tracks.
It really does. I've read it so many times, and my brain still has to, stretch to hold it. So help us out. What are they actually saying here?
Well, the text starts with this idea of the all, capital T, capital A, and it defines it as the fundamental reality that underlies everything, the substance of all things.
Okay, so a kind of ultimate source or consciousness.
Exactly, an infinite living mind. And I know that can sound very abstract, but it uses a really helpful analogy. It asks you to think about how you create a whole world in a dream.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. In a dream, I can imagine entire cities, people, conversations, and it all feels completely real while I'm in it.
It feels real, right? If you stub your toe on a dream curb, it hurts. But what is that curb actually made of?
Well, nothing. It's just thought. It's in my mind.
It's mental substance. And if you wake up, that entire world just dissolves. The Hermetic teaching is that our waking universe is, in a very similar way, a mental creation held in the mind of the all.
Which is a massive idea. It lines up with some really strange modern physics, like simulation theory, where the observer changes the outcome. But okay, let's bring it down to earth.
Right. The so what for a Tuesday morning.
Yeah, because even if I am a thought, I still have to answer emails. And this table feels pretty solid when I knock on it.
It does. And the Kybalion is very clear about this. It warns against what it calls half-wisdom. It basically says, don't be an idiot and run into a wall just because you think it's mental. The wall will win.
Okay, good. So we're not denying physical reality.
Not at all. The practical application, the user manual for us is this. Your personal universe, the life you actually feel and experience, is filtered 100% through your mind. Your mind is the medium.
Mind as medium. That phrase really clicks for me. It's the bridge from the cosmic to the practical.
That's it. We tend to think our mind is like a camera, just passively recording what's out there. The world is what it is, and I'm just seeing it.
Right.
That's not what's happening. Your mind is much more like a projector. It's actively shaping what you see based on its own programming, its own software. And if that software has a bug, the picture is going to be distorted.
So we're never really touching reality directly. We're always touching our interpretation of it.
You've got it. There's no such thing as an unfiltered experience for a human. There are facts, sure. It's raining. That's a fact. But we experience it through a story. The rain is ruining my day, or, oh good, the plants needed this. The rain didn't change, but your entire reality did.
Okay, so let's get into the mechanics of that projector. In our notes, we found this three-step process that seems to show up everywhere. In Hermetics, Stoicism, even modern psychology like CBT.
It's a fascinating convergence. They all point to the same three gears in the machine.
What's the first gear?
The first gear is attention. Your mind is a filter. It has to be.
This is like when you buy a new car, and suddenly you see that same car everywhere.
Exactly. That's your brain's reticular activating system at work. It's a filter that says, this is important now, pay attention to it. The world is throwing billions of bits of data at you every second.
The sound of the lights, the feeling of my shirt, the temperature.
Everything. You can't process it all, so your mind has to delete most of it. And the crucial part is that you tell it what's important enough to keep.
And we do that unconsciously, usually.
Almost always. So if you hold a deep-seated belief that, say, people are generally selfish, your attention will scan every room you enter looking for proof of that.
And it'll find it. It'll notice the person who cuts in line, but completely ignore the 10 people who held the door for someone else.
And you'll walk away feeling completely justified. See, I was right. The world is full of selfish people. You've curated a universe that confirms your bias. That's gear 1.
That's a powerful and slightly terrifying idea. So attention selects the raw data. What's gear 2?
Gear 2 is meaning making. This is where you take that raw data and you tell a story about it.
This is the Stoic part, right? Epictetus.
The cornerstone. We are not disturbed by things, but by the views we take of them. We think the event and our reaction are the same thing. They're not.
My boss yelled at me, so I'm upset.
We fuse them. But they're separate. The fact is, sound waves of a certain frequency came out of his mouth. That's the physics of it. The meaning we add is, he's attacking me. I'm worthless. My job is in danger. That's the story.
And the story is what creates the emotion.
The story is what creates the suffering. There's that great example of seeing a man slam a door on a woman.
Right.
You see that from across the street. What's your immediate story?
That guy's a jerk. He's aggressive. Poor woman. I'd feel angry, probably.
Your whole mental universe is now one of conflict. But then what if I told you that she had just confessed to a deep betrayal and he was slamming the door to leave before he said something awful? He was actually practicing restraint.
Ooh. Wow. Okay, completely different reality. The door slam is the same, the sound is the same, but my story changes.
The physical event didn't change at all. But your mental universe flipped 180 degrees. Your anger might turn to sympathy.
And that leads to gear 3, which would be my response.
Exactly. If you believe the first story, you might shout at him. If you believe the second, you might feel compassion. Your behavior in the world is a direct result of the story you chose to tell.
Attention filters the data. Meaning-making tells a story about it, and our response flows from that story. And that cycle, that's our life.
That is the mental universe in action.
Okay, I get it. But wait a second. We have to put up some guardrails here.
Yes, we absolutely do.
Because I can hear someone listening right now saying, okay, so if I just think I'm not stuck in traffic, the cars will disappear. Or worse, did my friend manifest their illness because they were pessimistic?
This is the most important part of the conversation. This is not magical thinking. It's not about denying reality. The Hermetics are incredibly grounded about this.
So, guardrail number 1.
Guardrail number 1, this does not mean denying facts. If it is raining, it is raining. Put on a coat. The mental work isn't about pretending you're dry. It's about deciding that the rain isn't going to ruin your day. You accept the physical fact, the absolute, but you control your mental relationship to it, the relative.
So it's about navigation, not denial.
Perfectly said. Guardrail 2, and this is the moral one, this does not mean blaming people for hardship.
Yeah, this is the dark side of that pop spirituality stuff.
It's a cruel and incorrect distortion. You do not control all the variables. There's physics, genetics, other people's choices, just pure chance. To tell someone they attracted a tragedy is a terrible misuse of this idea.
So if someone hits my car, it's not because I had a bad attitude this morning.
No, it's because they weren't looking. That's an external event. But you do control whether that event sends you into a week-long spiral of rage.
Which brings us to guardrail 3.
You only control what the Stoics called your ruling faculty, your mind, your choices, your responses. That's your kingdom. You don't control the weather or the stock market, but by mastering your own mind, you change how you engage with all those things.
Okay, so with those guardrails firmly in place, let's talk about the win, the how-to. The Kybalion calls it mental transmutation. Sounds very alchemical.
It is alchemy, but not turning lead into gold, literally. It's a metaphor for turning a lead emotion, like fear or resentment, into a gold virtue, like courage or forgiveness.
And in modern terms, we just call that cognitive reframing.
It's the exact same process. You're consciously choosing a better frame for the picture. And this isn't just a mental trick. When you change the frame, you literally change the chemistry in your body.
The cortisol and adrenaline.
Right. You flip the switch from threat to challenge, and your biology responds instantly.
Okay, let's make this super concrete. We picked 3 areas everyone deals with: work, relationships, and habits. Let's start with work.
Okay, this scenario. You get that email from your boss. The subject line is blank, and it just says, "Got a minute to chat this afternoon."
Instant dread. My stomach just clenched even thinking about it.
That's the old frame, the anxious story. Your mind immediately goes, "I'm in trouble. It's about that project. I'm getting fired."
And the result is I can't focus for the next 3 hours. I'm just living in that future nightmare. total paralysis.
Right. Now, let's transmute it. Let's apply a new frame. What's a better, more useful story?
This is just neutral information. Maybe.
Perfect. I don't have enough data to have an emotional reaction yet. It's just a calendar invite.
So what's the next action from that frame?
Instead of freezing, you take action. You send a calm reply. Sure thing. Is there anything I should review beforehand?
Oh, that's so much better. You're taking control.
Yeah.
You're not just a victim waiting for the verdict.
And 99% of the time the reply is, nope, just wanted to get your thoughts on the summer outing. And you realize you almost wasted an entire afternoon suffering in a reality that only existed in your head.
I have done that many, many times. Okay, next up, relationships. The assumption loop.
Your partner comes home. They're quiet, a bit distant, maybe closing the kitchen cabinets a little too loudly.
The old frame kicks in instantly. They're mad at me. What did I do wrong now?
And that story leads to defensive behavior. You say, what's your problem? And suddenly you're in a fight that you actually started.
A self-fulfilling prophecy.
Completely. Now, let's reframe. What's a better story?
Maybe. Curiosity. Like, I wonder what kind of day they had.
Curiosity is the ultimate solvent for conflict. The new frame is, they seem like they're carrying something heavy. It probably has nothing to do with me.
That feels totally different. It moves me from defensiveness to empathy.
And then your language changes. Instead of an accusation, you ask a question. Hey, you seem a little off. Tough day.
And then the real conversation can actually happen. Lead into gold. That's a good one.
It is.
Okay, finally, habits. For everyone who's ever tried to build a good habit and fallen off the wagon, the identity drift.
You skip a workout, you eat the donut.
And the old frame is, see? I knew it. I'm lazy. I have no willpower. I always fail.
It's that all or nothing thinking, and that story just gives you permission to give up completely. Might as well eat the rest of the box.
So it's the alchemical transmutation here.
You reframe your identity. The fact is, I missed one workout. The new story is, I am the type of person who gets back on track immediately.
Ooh, I like that. You define yourself by the recovery, not the mistake.
Yes, but you have to prove it to yourself. So you do a tiny proof action. You don't try to make up for it with a 2-hour workout.
Because that would just be setting yourself up to fail again.
Right. You just do 2 minutes, 5 push-ups, you read 1 page of the book. You do something tiny right now to send a signal to your brain that says, see, the new story is true, we're back.
Action proves the thought.
Action makes the mental real.
This is so practical. But I want to slow down because it's one thing to talk about this and another to do it when you're actually stressed.
It is. In the heat of the moment, the old wiring takes over. You need a drill, a protocol.
So let's do one. Let's walk everyone through what we're calling the mind is medium reset. If you're listening and it's safe, you can try this with us. Just think of a small stressor you're holding right now.
Okay. It's a 5-step process. Step 1, pause and soften the body.
Why start with the body?
Because your mind and body are a single system. You can't have a calm mind in a tense body. So just drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, take 1 slow breath. It sends a safety signal to your nervous system.
Okay. Shoulders dropped. I can feel that. Step 2.
Step 2, name the facts in neutral language. Strip out all the drama and the adjectives.
So not this traffic is a total nightmare and I'm going to be late.
No, just the cars are moving slowly. My estimated arrival is 10 minutes later than planned. Just the data.
That already takes the sting out of it. Okay, step 3.
Step 3, notice the story you're adding. Just observe it. I'm telling myself the story that this means I'm unprofessional.
You're not the story. You're the one watching the story.
Precisely. You create a little bit of space. Hello, old anxiety story. I see you.
Okay. I see the story. Now what? Step 4.
Step 4, choose a better meaning. Ask, what's a more useful way to see this? Not necessarily happier, but more useful.
So, this is an opportunity to listen to this conversation without rushing. Or, this is good practice in patience.
Choose the frame that gives you power, not the one that makes you a victim.
And the final step.
Step 5, choose 1 proof action. It has to be tiny and immediate.
So if the new frame is patience, the action could be just taking 1 more conscious breath.
Exactly. Or if the frame is focus, you turn off the radio, a small physical act that locks in the new mental state.
So to recap, pause the body, name the facts, notice the story, choose a better meaning, and take a proof action.
That's the entire loop. If you practice that, you are actively training your mind.
I love that, but I still want to play devil's advocate here with some common pushbacks.
Let's do it.
Okay, number 1, this just sounds like toxic positivity. You're telling me to just put a happy spin on a terrible situation?
No, that's a great question. Toxic positivity is denial. This is about utility. It's about accurate thinking. If you're in a real crisis, the most useless frame is panic. A useful frame is, okay, what is the next right thing I can do? It's not about feeling happy, it's about being effective.
Got it. Okay, pushback 2. This takes too much time. I'm too busy to be navel-gazing all day.
My response is, you're losing way more time to the emotional fallout of a bad reaction. The 30 seconds it takes to do this reset can save you 3 hours of cleaning up a mess you made when you were angry. It's an investment, not a cost.
True. Okay, number 3. Aren't you just telling me to suppress my emotions? I'm not allowed to be angry.
Another crucial distinction. We never suppress, we transmute. Suppression is pushing the feeling down where it will fester. Transmutation is acknowledging the feeling, wow, I'm feeling a lot of anger right now, and then choosing to channel that energy into something constructive, like setting a firm boundary instead of something destructive, like yelling.
You're using the energy, not ignoring it.
Exactly. Anger is just energy. The frame tells it where to go.
Pushback 4. It's all just a mental trick. It doesn't change anything in the real world.
It literally changes the physical structure of your brain. Every time you consciously choose a new thought pattern, you are strengthening a neural pathway. It's called neuroplasticity. You're not playing a trick on your mind. You are actively upgrading your mind's hardware.
Okay, last one. And this one is personal for me. I tried it, but I failed. I still got angry. I guess it doesn't work for me.
This is a practice. It is not a performance. You would never go to the gym once and say, well, I'm not strong yet. I guess weights don't work. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is to get a little bit better, to shorten the time between the trigger and your conscious response. If you used to stay mad for a whole day and now you catch yourself after an hour, that is a huge victory. That is the work.
That's so much more encouraging. It's about progress, not perfection.
Always.
We have covered so much, from this huge cosmic principle all the way down to a 5-step breathing exercise.
We've gone from the metaphysical to the tactical.
Let's do a quick recap. 7 key takeaways from today.
Let's do it.
First, the universe is mental. Your mind is the medium, the interface through which you experience everything.
Next, your attention acts as a filter. What you consistently look for is what you will inevitably find.
Third, events themselves are neutral. It's your judgment, your story about the event, that gives it emotional power.
Fourth, mental transmutation is the practical art of choosing a better, more useful story.
Fifth, we have to avoid the trap of denial. We always accept the facts of reality. We just choose our response to them.
Sixth, you can use the mind as medium reset, that 5-step process, to regain control in any stressful moment.
And finally, this is a practice. Consistent practice actually rewires your brain for more stability and peace over time.
That's a powerful summary.
It feels like it puts the control back where it belongs.
Yeah.
We spend so much energy trying to change the world outside of us, and this whole philosophy saying the most powerful lever you have is inside you.
It is. The mind truly is its own place, and you get to be the architect of that place.
Which is the perfect setup for where we're going next time. Because if all of this is part of one great mind, what does that mean for us as individuals? How do we live in both of those realities at once?
The absolute and the relative. It's the ultimate paradox.
So next time, we're going to explore the divine paradox and the all in all. We're going to tackle how to balance their big spiritual truth with the, very real demands of daily life.
It's where the rubber really meets the road, spiritually and practically. I'm looking forward to it.
You too.
It's going to be a good one.
Thanks for being here. If you want the full series, check the playlist, and please like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.